Welcome to the introductory video for the Wave2Entry platform. After logging in, you'll be presented with the home screen, one of the first places you'll want to start the Hot Today screen. We will be adding to this by including other people's Elliott wave counts and popular items as per the number of votes and comments and so on. Right now, it tells you any immediate trend changes. In here, you can quickly click on any specific symbol and you can see if it grabs your interest with a quick look at the TradingView chart. Sometimes you'll see one that you're interested in and sometimes not. This one looks quite interesting, a potential impulse into a low and a smaller impulse. Let's take a more detailed look in TradingView. As we get it into scope, we can see that we have a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at intermediate degree into primary 1, followed by a sharp ABC correction into primary 2. It now came back up into an intermediate 1 and potential fell back into intermediate 2, followed by a series of potential 1, 2, 1, 2s. The key point that we're seeing here is that we've seen the trend potentially change, and we have a valid Elliott wave count that could continue higher. So we look to get long. Now with this set of higher highs coming in, going higher than the previous intermediate B wave, it's highly likely that we've got a primary or intermediate wave 2. But rather than having to risk a significant loss of 75% or more, we can pick a point that is a much higher low by recognizing that there are potential 1 2s here and we've managed risk to a much lower degree. From here, we'd want to see significant push up from here with volume for a wave 3. Moving back to the website, we can see if there's other symbols that you're interested in. You can check what its current trend direction is. So looking at a random coin, Bonk, which is a popular meme coin, we can see that the trend is currently up. Not a terrible time to buy after a correction, potentially. We see we had a correction here, and we have a count that is looking like it's some form of larger correction for now. We can see that we had an original ABC down into a primary A, followed potentially by an ABC, and then a further deterioration down into a much deeper C. That may be over already, or it could just be completing this correction. Coming back into the Wave2Entry website, what we're trying to do here is give you an easy way that you don't have to go and search all the coins, for example, on CoinMarketCap. You don't want to have to scroll through hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of coins to try and find the ones that are worth trading. You want to be able to get in as early as possible in the start of a trend. That's what this system allows you to do. By getting an email notification on every daily trend change, you will be fully aware and able to catch them nice and early. Let's take one from today's email. We previously got a trend alert on this one several weeks ago, and it was after an initial impulse that could be a wave 1. We don't try to buy that one as the risk is too high, but we can see that we've had 5 waves up into a potential expanding leading diagonal into a minuet wave 1. A sharp correction back down into the minuet wave 2. This is the core of the Wave2Entry system, and we got in at a nice entry point here. Being in a position to watch for this correction down allows us to snipe a really nice entry point to look for a reaction. We get an initial 1, 2, and now this is our entry. The stop is quite limited with minimal risk. We're now down to less than 10%, whereas normally with a crypto like this, you'd be looking at 30, 40% risk. The whole point of the alert system is to make sure that you're watching the right ones at the right time. You set your key levels and look for the entry, but you don't have to monitor them all. Another benefit of Wave2Entry is that other people in the community will also be creating counts and monitoring looking for trades. They could be forming an opinion that you can benefit from. Here's one called Liquidity, and you can see we had an initial 1, and a 2, and a potential 1 2. Zoomed out, we can see a higher degree count for an intermediate 1, each one intermediate 2, and potentially looking to move higher. This is one that you yourself could be then following based on somebody else's hard work. You can then leverage their input, use the community, and give your opinion. You can have a conversation with the different people in the community, and they will rate your counts and your opinions. You can also manage your positions. For example, you can see here we've put in a Bitcoin position. Let's say we came in at 10,000, but we went short. Well, by having this position here, you can see that it's warning you. It's red. It's saying the trend is up here, my friend, but you're short. Perhaps you should change that. Conversely, if you put in a SOL position, you can see that we're saying that we were long. The item in your list shows as fine, no warnings. The liquidity position we entered is currently neutral from a trend perspective because we got in on the wave 2 of a high degree. So we're front-running the trend flip by using our Elliott wave skills. For SOL, you can see it's a potential entry here, and another one too, at a small degree, looking to reach this final fifth intermediate wave 5. We don't know how high. It could go very high. It could go completely parabolic. The point is that we're now confident that we have a wave 3 and a 4 and looking to move higher. So you're trying to get in on one of the smaller wave 2s and get your entry. While looking at any of the symbols in the trends and in the hot today, there are sometimes symbols that you're just not interested in. Dodge, BTC, for example. You see the chart, but let's say you're not interested. You just don't want to hear this anymore. You can hit the ignore button. That will clear that out, and you will no longer get alerts about that one. At any point, you can go in and change this, go back into your ignored symbols from your user profile, and you can see that you have the option to do that. The option to unignore it from in here, if you ever want to. Finally, you can also go into the education material and learn all about Elliott wave theory and using the Wave2Entry system. Learn how to use TradingView with lots more education content coming soon. This concludes the Wave2Entry introduction course. Thank you for listening.